I don't like to suffer, nor do I particularly want to be cold, wet, or hungry. If I had a spirit animal, it would probably be a jellyfish floating in an ocean of perpetual comfort. Every now and then I'd snack on some passing phytoplankton or whatever it is that a jellyfish snack on, and I'd use the tidal forces of the ocean to keep me at the optimal depth. If I were lucky enough to have come into the world as a Turritopsis dorini, the so-called immortal jellyfish, then I wouldn't even have to worry about death. When my last days approached, I could simply shrivel into a ball of goo and reemerge a few hours later as a freshly minted juvenile version of myself. Yes, it would be awesome to be a jellyfish. Unfortunately, as it turns out, I am not an amorphous blob of sea goop. As a human, I am merely the most recent iteration of several 100 million years of evolutionary development from the time we were all just muck in a primordial soup. Most of the previous generations had it pretty rough. There were predators to outwit, famines to endure, species-ending cataclysms to evade, and an ever-changing struggle to survive in outright hostile environments. And, let's be real, most of those would-be ancestors died along the way without passing on their genes. Evolution is a continual battle waged through generations of minute mutations where only particularly fit or lucky creatures outperform hapless genetic dead ends. The body we have today hasn't stopped evolving, but I still think if we peel back all the eons of changes that brought us here today, that we will still find a little bit of jellyfish at the very core of our beings. This is because we have a nervous system that is almost perfectly attenuated for homeostasis, the effortless state where the environment meets every physical need. Our nervous system automatically responds to the challenges in the world around us, triggering muscle contractions, releasing hormones, modulating body temperature, and performing a million other tasks that give us an edge in a particular moment. But barring an urgent need for survival, the human body is perfectly content to simply rest and do nothing. Doing anything, requires a certain amount of energy, and our bodies would rather save up that energy just in case they need it later. The great bulk of these bodily functions lie just beneath our conscious thoughts. But if whatever motivates our nervous system could express itself, it would probably maintain that the body that it is responsible for would best tick by in a state of perpetual and stressless comfort. But what is comfort? It's not really a feeling as much as it is an absence of things that aren't comfortable. Our species might never have survived necessary but arduous treks across scorching deserts or over frigid mountain peaks if there weren't the promise of some physical reward at the end of the journey. We sate our thirst, don layers of clothing on cold winter days, and clean our bodies because that yearning for comfort is hardwired into our brain. It's what Freud called the pleasure principle. The programming that makes us gluttons for the easy life didn't emerge out of nowhere. Aside from my jellyfish spirit animal, almost every organism struggles against the environment that it inhabits. Every biological adaptation that makes life incrementally easier came through the glacial process of natural selection, when two animals were able to pass favorable traits onto their descendants. Yet evolution requires more than a biological duty that culminates in a moment of intense passion. It needs the cumulative luck, motivations, and skill of individual creatures to use their biological abilities to the fullest. Every creature, whether it is an amoeba or a great ape, needs motivation to overcome the challenges of the world around it. Comfort and pleasure are the two most powerful and immediate rewards that exist.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.